Thank you so much. The President of Ghana, His Excellency Nana Akufo-Addo, Their Excellencies are here with us, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. I am pleased to be part of this special Vershok Award presentation ceremony. We now live in a world different from what we are used to, and our way of doing things is also changing. This Vershok Award event is one of the manifestations of the new reality occasioned by the COVID-19 pandemic. I thank the African Leadership Persons of the Year Award Committee for their initiative and consistency in holding the award, which is now in its 9th year. I especially appreciate the chairman, Dr. Ken Gyami, for his commitment to changing the African story. I appreciate the committee for finding me worthy of the African Peace and Security Leader of the Year 2020 award. I also commend other awardees who are prominent African leaders and all others participating in the program today. Awards and recognitions are good because it reassures the recipient that their little contributions to the growth of society have not gone unnoticed. It also comes with a sense of responsibility, which jolts the awardees to the fact that they can no longer go below a certain threshold in the conduct of human affairs. To all of us receiving the award today, it is an urge to do even more. In my own case, I am delighted that my little contributions towards peace and sustainable democracy in our continent is being recognized. Along this line, I have been asked to share my thoughts on the theme, promoting sustainable peace and security in Africa, lessons for political leaders. This is an important topic, given the time we are in, because of the urgent need to bring an end to growing insecurity, instability, mounting misery, and despair in our society. Drawing from my experience in and out of office, I've come to know that peace building is one of the greatest challenges facing our world today. The results of the 2020 Global Peace Index released by the Institute for Economics and Peace shows a marked deterioration in the level of global peace. It also noted that terrorism and internal conflict have been the biggest contributors to the global deterioration in peace. Leadership commands great influence in the affairs of men, such that the fate of a nation is often interconnected with that of the leader. Leaders that promote peace and build institutions always focus on those deliveries that cater to the needs of our citizens and keep them safe. Relative to other parts of the world, Africa remains a continent that is greatly challenged by insecurity and conflicts. Peace in our continent is mainly threatened by political instability, poor democratic practices, and weak institutions. Many African nations that are today mired in conflicts or just emerging from one often have such crises rooted in the struggle for leadership. In Africa, it appears we see the political process as a civil war or a fraudulent enterprise that has no rules. This is unhealthy for our polity as it impairs our development. I always make the point very clear that there is a clear link between a nation's social and economic standing and its position in the global conflict index. Nations with fewer conflicts and more stable leadership tend to be richer and better off in the human development profile. The nations with the lowest progress on the conflicts on the official United Nations Human Development Index, many of them in Africa, are those that are either poorly governed or embroiled in leadership struggle. That is why I spend my time supporting democracy and peaceful transition of power on the continent, because I know that it is very relevant to our search for good governance, peace, and prosperity in our shores. It is for this reason that the African Union mechanism for promoting peace, security, and stability focuses on providing good governance as a means of tackling such issues as widespread poverty, youth unemployment, illiteracy, and absence of free and fair elections. More than in any other part of the world, self-centered and egocentric contests for power by African politicians have, more often than not, unleashed widespread violence and insecurity on the African soil. When politicians undermine democratic principles and usurp citizens' rights, it creates a situation that impacts negatively on peace and development. This is a recipe for lawlessness, because excessive power obviously elicits negative reaction, as those on the receiving end may be forced to revolt against the system. Let me conclude by stating that the pathway to stabilizing our polity is to improve the quality of governance by sanitizing and strengthening the electoral processes in our continent. That way, the citizens will be in a good position to hold leaders accountable through the ballot. For peace to reign, those who wield power should respect the rule of law, be fair to all, and dispense justice in a manner that promotes equity and boosts the people's confidence in their nations. I thank you all.
And we thank you so much, Dr. Jonathan, for those very, very wise remarks and helping us to really see the correlation between stability of the nation and the economic prosperity of the nation, the peace and its prosperity. We thank you very much for sharing those with us. We want